Hello, everybody. I didn't get any suggestions for this week, so I figured I'd just paint something random. And I guess a good place to start would be just gonna do something new. So I'm just gonna take this way and just drop a bunch of paint on, and we'll just see how it goes. Hey, what's up? I'm just doing some painting. It's gonna end up a little bit different than normal, so I'm not really sure who Jensen is. And then we'll probably drop some more red in here once I get to the point where and then we'll probably darken up the top too. Nobody's a nobody. That one I can guarantee. I'm sure hoping it's nice, 'cause I'm trying something new, something I'm not used to. I'm also going to try to get this off in here, but I may have to actually do something like add more paint here. And with me, sometimes with the painting, I just never really know what's gonna come up. Especially like here on the sides, it's starting to... Yeah, I'm gonna add some darker stuff to the outer edges. And just some more red. And I think we'll just... Looks like a hillside a bit. Well, that's not exactly what I'm going for, but without a suggestion, I just picked something random. There's like a lake, pond, I think it's a pond. I don't know if it's big enough for a lake, but nearby my house that has been really nice at sunset since I can actually see the sunset now, with it being the winter time. So we'll see. We'll see how this turns out. It's probably going to be a little weird because it's not normally the way that I do things over here, but we're just going to see how it turns out. I mean, thus far, yes, I'll say this is going pretty well. I'm just drying it off a bit before. Oh, well, normally I have been recently taking some suggestions and painting those. But today is a little different. I didn't get any suggestions, so. And I don't know if you've been able to watch any of the other stuff I painted, but last week at this time I painted an Among Us picture that I can show. Oh, I never thought of that. But that might actually be interesting. I can't even tell you when the last time I saw a geographic textbook was. This may take a little bit just because there are some spots on the canvas that don't dry the same way as other places do. But I'd like to point out it's nice to have more people viewing the stream, especially new people. But yeah, this time I was doing this is going to be, I'm going to do like a reflection over here almost. It depends. I know my painting sets normally get somewhere between 2 to 3, and I know that I do Hollow Knight sometimes, and that normally gets around 2 to 3 also. Still very new. And I guess that's just the way it goes sometimes. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to let me know, because I'm more than happy to answer questions. Eh, I mean, I try to do a really nice job all the time. Not gonna lie, painting is a thing I like doing, but painting is not a thing that I do all the time, so. How long have I been doing art? Oh, if you ask me, it's been a long time. I did a lot more art when I was younger, and I probably got a lot more into it than now, because I remember in middle school I used to do a lot with paint and oil pastels. But I can honestly say that picking it back up recently has been nice in its own sense. I do a little of both drawing and painting. I know um, less so drawing recently, but I did pick up a sketchbook that I had been drawing in for a while. I know a lot of my normal followers are friends with me on Facebook, which I can always do things like post links to, I guess. Oh, so, like, the drawing and painting I definitely did a lot in middle school and a little bit in high school. And then um, life happens, and so I put it down for a bit. And then I just decided randomly to pick it back up. So this is where we're at right now. Hi, Brandon. You know, normally, oh, Brent's here too. Nice. Normally, I find that people who say they're not creative people just didn't have somebody who showed them a really nice, like, everybody has their own way of doing things. Like here, you can see mine is probably turning out. Well, it's turning out mostly how I wanted it to, but yeah, so we'll just see how it goes. And that I drew, I think, backwards. They are eventually, if my brain will function and make them trees now. It's gonna be probably a lot of. Because this is actually like there's a place really near me, like I said, that has just beautiful reflections. I mean, the trees themselves are wonderful too, but we're going to see if I can do things like copy the one side to the other. Van Gogh, oh man. Well, Brent, this comes from my brain of a dusk setting of one of the nearby ponds. So, we'll just see how it turns out when it's done. Yes, yes, I will fix that eventually. The trees are going to be the most difficult portion of this. I'm fairly certain I'm going to have to do some finagling on my end to make it look like a reflection for me, even. Especially since, like, it's just all a part of the process. I'm certain I'll get it eventually where it looks like a reflection. Even if it takes me a little longer than expected. Yeah, I'm probably going to add some of the yellow and orange down here and see if I can smear it out just a little bit. Yeah, the distortion is going to be key here for me. So, at least I got that going for me where it's like, eh? Still water still has distortion, it's just not as much. But this is a painting, so we can make it how we want to. That's just how it goes over here. So now let's see if I can do this. What time is it for us? Well, we're on the east coast of the U.S. So for a lot of us here, it's around 7 now. So, now let's move on to the fun part, and that's seeing if my brain can do the same thing a second time. Or at least close. Brent's finally painting happy little trees. Is this what you guys wanted? You wanted me to paint happy trees? You wanted me to be Bob Ross over here? Yes. Listen, I can paint happy little trees all the time. I can't guarantee they'll be like fantastic trees, but they'll be trees. I like to think it is too on my end. Very wholesome. Just just painting whatever comes to mind over here. And I do like to think that I do take Brent Bob Ross Claycomb. Why? You know, that is a thing right there, Brent. That makes me happy enough. Giving all of my friends a nice break from 2020. Am I left-handed? No, unfortunately, I think I might have moved the camera a little weird, but just because from my point of view, when I look back at you guys, it looks inverted and weird if it's recording the other way. But I am right-handed, weirdly enough. It made, I think I may have the camera, like I said, set up a little weird. But I'd like to say this isn't turning out so bad thus far. Listen, the trees live how we want in our world, Brandon. You know, contrast is nice sometimes, but you also gotta know where, like, because not every picture can be the same. Yes. Okay, I misread your comment at first, Brent. My goodness. But like I said, at the end, if this turns out looking looking like a reflection, then I have already succeeded at what I set out to do today, and that was make a reflection picture. So how's everybody's weeks going? Oh, my week has been going fantastic. Fantastic. I put my name in to see what it is that I would have to do to get a new position at work, which may not sound fascinating to like everybody, but it is to me for a couple of reasons. The first one being that, you know, it's more stuff for me, and also I'm still running into the same things at work of like people keep asking me for, you know, they always ask me questions. Alright, before I do this spot over here, now's a good time to fix this. So let's see if we can actually, slightly cover this up. We'll see how it turns out here in a minute. And I think that's going to be good enough for a fix for that. So we'll just... You know, I agree sometimes that people should eat when they're hungry, but there's also sometimes when I do make small amounts of concessions and just eat small amounts just because it makes members of my family happy. Now it's going to get a little loud over here because I'm going to start. Well, yeah, Brent, but I've been training people for years. But yeah, sometimes I give small little concessions and do things like eat. I know. Well, if you're full, there's nothing you can really do about that. Definitely not. Eating till you vomit, probably not a good idea. But also, Brent, I've been training for like 5 years now. But I'm actually one of the managers down where I work at. There's just like, I'm the lowest level manager, and there's like 4 other levels of management I can get into. And so I just put my name in when it came up where they were like, hey, we want to know who wants to change positions, who'd like to move up. Oh, I'm just going to assume that the water distortion is going to be the really weird changes from the one side to the other and let the viewer decide which side they think is the distortion and which one isn't. Because sometimes that's the best way to do things. Well, I don't, Brent, the problem with mine is I don't think mine is going to be so much an interview as it is them telling me things that I will need to do before they will promote me. I don't know if that makes sense to you. But yeah, guys, if you want to see what it looks like thus far, this is actually it. This is the one side, and you can see the other side too. And although it's not perfect, like I like to say, nothing in here is perfect. I just go with the flow. A lot of times, listen, sometimes magic happens. Sometimes magic happens. Well, Well, yeah, Brandon, but things have changed a little bit where we used to work at together because we've lost so many people. I think where we work at now has less than 40 people working there. I think it's closer to like 38 now. Hey, it's because I'm using an old hair dryer that actually belonged to my grandmother, so Pink Hair Dryer Club. Yeah, not even gonna lie. I use it because it's here. You, Brent, you didn't notice the entire time. We've been painting for months, and you never noticed that it was the only club I'll be a part of. Well, Brandon, I've got good news for you. This is a day in which Madison may be proud of me because if I show you this, this is the paint set that's left. This is it. That's everything. But this is basically done. This is my go at trying to both A, not Bob Ross it up, and B, set. And now, for a final touch, I'm just gonna put my initials on it. Which side do you think? This side or this side? Or should I just put it up here on like the edge? Well, thank you, Jensen. If there's one thing I try to do here, it's to have fun with what I'm doing and just do it. Oh, lo-fi music would probably be spot on. Yep, that's probably what happened, looking in the thing and seeing it backwards. A lot of times I do, so I try to paint over the edges. Sometimes they end up like this, where it doesn't go the whole way to the edge, and sometimes it ends up like this side, where it goes over the edge. It just depends. Oh, and for you, so that I can show you, because you said you might want to see the um the Among Us thing. Let me go grab it real quick. Yes, so since you're new, I'll show you the last painting, which you can see I did paint over the sides on all of them. But yeah, it all just depends. I know. It ended up so good. Yes. That one I actually did from a picture, though. So there was already a picture set. Now it's looking kinda sus. It really does occasionally. But that's really all I had planned for tonight, you guys, unless you just want to catch up for the rest of this. This took about as long as I expected, around 40 to 45 minutes. You want mustard. Well, I actually think mustard is the one thing we don't have a lot of here at my house. Mustard greater than ketchup, greater than mayo. I don't know if I agree with this, Brent. Change my mind. um, I think ketchup is one of the condiments that just goes with everything. And there's just a lot of things that I don't think mustard goes well with. Well, thank you to everyone who joined. Yes, that's probably the way that I would put them, but I the differences between them are very thin. There's a bunch of overlap. Hi, Nick. You made it at the very end. Well, you guys have a good night. If you want to, we can stay and chat. I do not mind chatting for a little bit. This is just all the content portion that I had. Don't forget to leave suggestions. I do take everybody's suggestion into mind when I decide what to paint. And when nobody gives me suggestions, I do things like this. My own thing. Oh, yes. Do you want me to PM you on, like, Facebook Messenger? Paint you like a French girl. Brandon, if I could, I definitely would, but I do not think it would end up exactly the way you think it would. Fairly certain I'm not that good yet. That was also my girlfriend's suggestion too. She said it just like that. Paint me like a French girl. But yes, the suggestion box. I'm not sure where it's at on you guys' end, but I know where to access it from my end. I agree, Brandon. Very much so. Oh, that would be. I'm really glad you guys know your end stuff because that helps me. Oh, I'm not sure about mobile either, but if it works like mine, I'll show you guys what mine ends up looking like. If it will not open the mobile dashboard because it may just open the mobile dashboard. So see on my end on mobile, I don't know if you can see this, but here is the chat box and up here in the corner is the suggestion box, which might actually show Brandon's suggestion. Yeah, see it did. Maybe a little hard to see. Lighthouse. That'll be nice. Oh, I'll definitely do my best on that one. But thank you guys for joining me. Brent, I will get that information for you cuz um listen, I will accept gifts from you guys. You guys also, if you want, message me on Facebook. I've got the paintings that you guys suggested. I figured I'd send you guys as Christmas presents. It means that I no longer have to have a place to store the paintings, and you guys get rewards for being here and for making suggestions. Those of you that are my friends on Facebook. And for those of you who are new, which was Jensen, do not forget to follow if you liked. If you want to see more, if you want to come back and join us, because I definitely appreciate you guys. And that's all I have for tonight. Thank you guys, and good night.